This is the first exam review video for Chapter 2, Part 2 for Algebra. And again, pause the video, go to places where you're actually starting to start after we start the problem, and then pick up from there. So in Chapter 2, Part 2, you're going to use a lot of those proportions, the percent proportion, the proportion comparing two quantities. So as we started, you're going to start just by getting percents. So express 32% as a fraction. The key things people often missed is in simplest form. So we know that percents are always started over 100. So 32% would start as 32 over 100. And then you're going to go ahead and simplify that before you report your final answer. To determine if two ratios are equivalent, you have a couple ways to do it. Some of you like to turn those into decimals, 4/3 and 12/15. Some of you like to put that into a proportion and use cross products to see if 4 times 15 equals the same thing as 3 times 12. And some of you liked getting equivalent fractions, denominators-wise, turning both of them into 15ths. So be sure you show some work to support your answer and go back and listen to those 3 ways to decide yes or no, and then how to show some work. The first several problems are about percent of change in this next section. So we want to fall back to that percent of change proportion that we have. So I'm going to back up and let's make sure that we've got that somewhere. So percent of change is still going to be percent increase or decrease, and it depends which one you have, over 100. And it's going to be your amount of change, and that's your increase or decrease amount, all over your original amount. If you don't have that proportion somewhere, you want to get it somewhere. So in number 3, it's just asking you if it's a percent increase or decrease situation. You don't have to do any of the math in number 3. Just decide as you read the situation if the situation is a percent of increase or decrease. For number 4, find the percent of change if the original price was 10 and the new price is $11.70. So if I go to set up my proportion, I know that what we're missing is the percent of change, and this is definitely a percent of increase because I see that the price went up. Now, the original price is 10, and the most common wrong thing that people put in the top is $11.70. $11.70 isn't the amount of change, it's the new price. The amount of change is $11.70 minus 10, $1.70. That's the amount that this changed by. So you want to be certain when you're setting these up that you don't just grab the 2 numbers and throw them in there. Then you have good solving skills to show us the equation that you get when you use cross products, and then finish and get that percent of change. Number 5, it tells you what a basketball costs. That's without the tax. So sales tax is 5%, and they want the total price. So total price is going to be $24 plus or increased by the tax. So the tax is an increase amount that we have to find first. So we know it's 5% tax out of 100. We don't know how much that increases, so I'm going to call this T and say that that's an increase amount, just like the 5 is an increase percentage, and then put that over my original amount of 24. When you solve this and get that tax amount, that's not your final answer. You'll get a tax amount. Then make sure you go back up so that you can calculate the new cost with the tax. And finally, number 6, before we pause and start up a second video, a calculator costs $132. It sounds like original cost to me. It's on sale for 25% off, so we are doing a decrease situation here. They would like sale price. Well, sale price is going to have to be that original price of $132 minus, because it's a decrease situation, however much that 25% comes off as to get our sale price. So when we're done calculating an amount here, we have to decrease the $132 by that amount to get our sale price. So we go to set up our proportion. We know that our percent was 25 over 100. We know original price of the calculator was 132, and we are looking for a 25% decrease in the price. So we are looking for our decrease or discount amount. When you do your work to solve and get that, then that's the amount we need to decrease. Once you have it, whatever it is, then you need to go decrease the original price by it to get the sale price.